And we are live. Let me know if you can hear me well. Got a little bit of technical difficulties with the microphone. I'm not sure if it's too loud. So let me know if you can hear me well. So what I'm gonna do on this live stream is I'm gonna share what am I going to do with this new PC build, because it didn't go as planned. I was hoping that my older B450 motherboard was going to work with the Ryzen 7 2700, which I thought I fixed, but it is not working. And I strongly believe the problem is the motherboard. I think the CPU should be fine after fixing the bent pins. The problem with this B450 motherboard, this is an Ace, a Gigabyte Aorus Elite. What happened is I upgraded the CPU. I got a 5800X 3D, and to put the 5800X 3D CPU on this B450 motherboard, I had to update the BIOS. So I did. And when you update the BIOS, the older CPU no longer works, because it seems like the BIOS doesn't have enough space. So what happened is nothing works. The old CPU doesn't work, the new one doesn't work. So I bricked the BIOS for some reason. It just didn't work. So now the 2700 is not working. 5800X 3D doesn't work. But the thing is, the motherboard is fine. The problem is it has a corrupted BIOS, and now this motherboard doesn't have the ability to flash the BIOS with a button. Or there's a version of this motherboard, a version 2, that has a specific USB port which you can use without using RAM or CPUs installed on the motherboard. You can use to flash the BIOS, so you copy the BIOS files and all of that. But this one doesn't have that. So the thing is, it is possible to fix it. I just don't have the tools or the means to do it. So what I'm gonna try to do is to see if I can find a repair place that can do that for me, and see how much it costs, because the price of this motherboard right now, as it is $75. The thing is, if I buy used motherboard and it doesn't work, then I wasted my money. And brand new B450 motherboards, I ordered one from Micro Center, and they canceled the order because it's no longer available. So it was listed on their website, but it seems like it's no longer available. So I wanted to buy it brand new, so if it doesn't work, I return it and then I do something else. So next, I'm gonna try to fix the motherboard. So I will talk more about that. So what I wanna do is I'm gonna show you what I got here. I got a new, I couldn't help myself. You're gonna be surprised with what I got. How's it going? Bengal, Cyber Kinetic Ghost, Mr. Prick, Mr. Pragnini. First your GPU, and now the motherboard. Well, the motherboard was crazy from the motherboard was broken. Yeah, when we tried to put it together, it was not working. How's it going? Mork 305. Well, you found the channel today. Well, thanks for stopping by. I tried resetting the CMOS. It didn't work. By the way, let me know if you can hear me well. Now let's do this. You're gonna be surprised with what I got here. I could not help myself. This is probably, I'll tell you. I get it. This doesn't make any sense for me, okay? Because, you know, as you know, I've been getting a lot of love from MSI. So it wouldn't make any sense that I'm like spending a lot of money in something that they already gave to me. And I already have it. But I couldn't help myself because I really like this product. And it was discounted and I just want to upgrade my other PC. So let me show you what I got here. See what we got. I hope it is in one piece. I mean, the box looks pretty good. See what we got here. I love unboxing. It's like one of the most satisfying things to do, right? Okay, let's see. See what we got. That's right. I got another one. Because my PC is running so quiet and so cool. I couldn't help myself. And I got another one. There you go. This is the MPG CORELIQUID P13 360 AIO. We have a freaking display on the CPU and this thing runs so cool and quiet. This is what I want. Now here's the problem. Here's the problem. I want to use this on, it's a little bit dirty, the box. I want to use this on my 5800X3D PC. But here's the problem. My Asus TUF GPU, which by the way, it was not working yesterday. And the problem was, I mean, I spent the whole day yesterday trying to troubleshoot to see what happened. Because the only thing I did was to replace my Asus TUF 3080, which is 12 gigabytes, replace that for the 3080 10 gigabytes, the gigabyte GPU I bought for $300 on eBay, to see if it was working, because I bought a used GPU for this new PC and I needed to test the GPU, and it was working fine, no problems. Then I go and replace, I put back the Asus TUF 3080 12 gigabytes and it's not working. And I'm like, what's going on? Did it die? Then I start trying changing the power supply, so the port that is using in the back of the power supply with the same cable, it was not working. And when I tried a new cable, a new PCI Express cable, it worked. And the reason why I knew it was a power related issue was because the GPU was failing to initialize. So the fans, when you turn the PC on, the fans of the GPU started to spin and then they stop spinning completely. So what that means is that the GPU detects that there's a problem with the power delivery and it fails to initialize. So it doesn't want to initialize, so you get no video output. And on the motherboard, there was a VGA light, like a red light on the motherboard. No video output. So that's how I fixed that problem. I changed the PCI Express cable and it's working now. So I'm going to reach out to Seasonic. That's a Seasonic power supply, 750 watts power supply that I am using with my 3080 and the 5800X3D. So I'm going to reach out to Seasonic to see if they can send me another cable. I hope it is just the cable and not the power supply that is failing. So I'm thinking right now, because these are the possibilities. I wanted to install this liquid cooler on that case, which is the panel 110RPZ. It's a case I have for my 5800X3D 3080 12 gigabytes. I can install this at the bottom of that case. Now this doesn't fit on this case, and it wouldn't make any sense for a B450 with a Ryzen 7 2700, of course. But for the 5800X3D, it does make sense. That's a very hot CPU. Some people said that it was actually hot. It actually runs hotter than the 9800X3D because they improved the placement of the X3D cache or something, and then it runs cooler now for some reason. I don't know about that because it's a higher frequency too. But the thing is, a 5800X3D can definitely use this cooler. The case can fit this cooler, and the whole purpose is not only to drop the temperatures of the CPU, but to lower the noise levels, because with this 360 AIO you get a much quieter PC. You can lower the fans of everything, and I really enjoy a very quiet PC. Now here's the problem. That Asus TUF 12 gigabytes 3080 that was giving me issues yesterday, since the beginning, since I bought that GPU brand new, it was so loud. Like, I have coil whine it is loud coil whine. It goes over the fan noise. And what I'm thinking is, maybe I'm gonna try, maybe not for sure, I'm gonna try that 3080 on this power supply here, because I now can. I got the adapter, the 16-pin to dual 8-pin adapter for the GPU on this power supply, which is an MPG 1250 GS. So I can now try my 3080 here to see if the coil whine gets reduced with a different power supply. Maybe it's the Seasonic, is pushing it too far and it is screaming. Because if I cannot fix the coil whine of the 3080, then this doesn't make any sense, because the whole point is to drop the noise. And of course to make it run cooler, but that's the main purpose I got this. So of course I can always try to undervolt the GPU, and that can reduce the coil whine. But the performance maybe change like 1 or 2 FPS or something like that. So I don't want to change the performance. I want to overclock, not to lower the power. So let's see how that goes. So my point here is, I'm gonna try a bunch of things. Okay, I'm gonna try a bunch of things. I'm gonna try to fix the motherboard. That'll be great if I can fix this motherboard. Then I finish building this PC. I put this liquid cooler on the 5800X3D, and then I put the Noctua cooler here. Let's see if it fits. This is a small case, but it's supposed to be as wide as the 110R. This one is the MPG Forge 112R. So it is significantly smaller, but it's supposed to be equally as wide. So I think the Noctua NHD15 should fit in this case, but only with a center fan, because I do not have low profile RAM. So I'm gonna have to remove one of the fans, but we have triple fans at the front, and this is a mesh front case, so it should work well. So let's see how it goes. I'm gonna go, tomorrow I'm gonna have a weekend family day. I'm gonna enjoy my time, but on Monday I'll see if I can drop by some places to see if someone can unbrick this B450 motherboard, and we will go from there. Because if that is not possible, then I'm thinking it just doesn't make sense to buy a brand new B550 motherboard, which is like the last motherboards that might be available brand new. It doesn't make sense because I'm going to spend over $100 on the motherboard, brand new, for a CPU that's not worth it. It's a very old CPU. My excitement was, I fixed the CPU. Now I have a new PC. I already have the motherboard, the RAM. It's not the fastest PC, but for a family PC, that's gonna be perfect. But if that's not possible, what I'm gonna do maybe is I'm going to wait for the next, upgrade. I don't know when that's gonna happen. When it comes to the platform, so the CPU. So let's say I get a new CPU in the future, then I would put that on the other case, and then I would put the 5800X3D here. Let's see. So that's what I have on my head right now. I'm not gonna open this. It is brand new. I mean, it is sealed, shiny, brand new. I'm not gonna open it now because there's no reason for it. I'm not going to install it. But I just wanted to show you that I really, really like this that MSI sent me, so I got another one, basically. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. I do have the chat over here. Let me see. How's it going, Simon? Good to hear you're having some good fortune coming out your way. You deserve, after all your assistance to us with your great content. I wish you continued success and happiness all. Thank you very much, man. The end of the year is approaching, and I can say 100% without a doubt, this has been the best year for me and for my people. Not even close. So I am beyond happy, hoping for the best 2026. So thanks for stopping by. Let's see what we got here. So look for bent header pins shorting out the board. You mean on the CPU socket? I look at the CPU socket. It was looking perfect. It was just looking absolutely perfect. I saw no issues there. How's it going, George? So someone pull off the matte coating, Cyberkinetic Ghost. I'll check it out. Is that a YouTube channel? I'll check it out. My prediction is power supply will not affect coil wire noise. You think? And that undervolt is the only chance. Undervolt won't affect performance. It can even improve due to clock going higher. Okay, I'm gonna try that. The thing is, I am a little bit, the power supply gave me an issue already, and that power supply is already almost 5 years old. That was the very first PC. So what you're looking at right now here, this PC, this is the very first PC that I built here in the US. Not with this case. I built it with a crappy Chinese $30 case. But it was this B450 with a Ryzen 2700, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I was using a 1050 Ti. So that was my first PC. So same power supply. That's the Seasonic 750 Focus Plus. So I'm afraid the power supply is already giving me some issues. So to install this nice thing and the power supply giving me issues. I don't know. I mean, the power consumption of this is like 8 watts or something. It's insignificant, but it's a nice PC. 5800X3D with a 3080 is still a very, very good PC. I don't want to risk it. So what I was thinking was maybe if this PC build is gonna have to wait, maybe it would be wise to swap the power supplies, because I got a brand new power supply from MSI that's 850 watts and has all the connectivity that I need. So I was thinking maybe I'm gonna swap the power supplies, and maybe that's gonna reduce the coil one. Maybe, I don't know. But the thing, I don't want to do that because I would have to redo the cable management, and I spent so much time and care doing the cable management on that 5800X3D PC. It was absolutely nuts. I did it live. So yeah, I don't want to have to do that again, but it makes sense. It makes sense. I might actually do it. So the handyman. So let's see. You won't be able to fix the motherboard by yourself. No, I cannot do it. if it doesn't have a BIOS flashback, no. You would need to desolder the BIOS chip and solder on a new one. I was looking at that. Maybe there's a repair shop that can do it without doing that. I was looking at the options. It is possible to unbrick. Definitely, if you send it to the manufacturer, they can do it for sure. It is a shame to not use it. You know, to have a motherboard that could be working perfectly and it's not working due to software. You know, like physically, the motherboard has no issues. It just a brick. The firmware update on the motherboard didn't work for some reason, and it's now a brick. So that is very, very unfortunate. I don't like that. Inspect the bent pins, shorting out the motherboard, and reseat the CPU. I did check, man. I don't see any imperfection on the pins. No pins for like USB connectors. I don't know. NEC Sonic PSU is good for well over 5 years. They are the best. Yeah, that's why I bought it. They have a very good reputation, and the PSU I got is supposed to be very, very good. Where you plug the power button and reset button cable. Will it power on? Yeah, so what happened with this motherboard is it does power on. It does power on, but it gives me the VGA red light, like it's not giving video output. No, actually, it's not the VGA on this one. I'm still thinking on the yesterday, the 3080. No, this one is the CPU. So the CPU red light is on. So I think what's happening is because the firmware update was about, you know, updating it so the 5800X3D would work. That's what I did. And now the older CPUs are not supported. Now the thing is, to change the firmware update by myself, I would have to put the 5800X3D here so it works, and then flash back the BIOS. The firmware. I can't, the BIOS, better say. I cannot do that because I already tried the 5800X3D on this motherboard and it didn't work. So yeah, but maybe I take it to a repair center, they try a 3600 Ryzen 5 3600 and then it works, and then they can flash back the BIOS and it's not a big deal. The thing is, here in the US, the labor is so expensive that it needs to cost me maximum $40. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, because I would just buy a new motherboard at that point. This motherboard is no longer valuable enough to spend the money on the repair. That's the problem. But I cannot fix it myself. I don't have the means. So yeah, where you plug, yeah, that's where we are. So let's leave it there. That's what I wanted to show you in this video. Tell you what's going on with this PC build. It's gonna happen at some point, you know. If I cannot fix the motherboard, then it might have to wait. It might have to wait. But I did get this. I mean, it was discounted big time, actually. I think it was like $40 off for this Black Friday season. I got it at Best Buy. So I mean, I couldn't help myself, because I was thinking, okay, I need a CPU cooler for this build. I'm not gonna use the stock cooler for very long, because this stock cooler is so loud. For the family PC, they don't know anything about performance, but they will definitely notice that the PC is super noisy. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure the PC works before putting a new cooler. It doesn't work, unfortunately, but you know, this was gonna be a temporary thing. I tried the stock cooler, it works. Now I'm gonna put a new cooler. Now I was thinking, okay, which cooler should I use? if I get something small, then if I upgrade the CPU later, let's say I get a 5700 X3D or something like that, then I would need another cooler. So that's like a waste of money. For me, I'm thinking I buy a good cooler and then it's gonna last me for different PCs and upgrades, because the coolers, you're not supposed to have to replace them every time you build a new PC. So I wanted to get a good one. So a very good cooler was gonna be like, you know, $80, maybe $100. But then this was like 140, 150. How much was it exactly? 150? Yes, I think it was 150. Or with taxes, 140 plus taxes or whatever. I mean, you know, it's just like, you know, yes, there are bigger coolers than this. There's like so this is a 360 AIO. There's like a 420 AIO, I think, which is even bigger. But yeah, I mean, this is gonna be good for anything, basically. So yeah, I much rather get this. It was a very good deal, so I did. That's why I got it. So I just wanted to show you that. And of course, I mean, if I ask MSI, they would send me another one, but that would be an abuse. They already sent it to me. I already reviewed the cooler, gave my thoughts and opinions. So why would they send me another one? It doesn't make any sense. So I bought it myself. Yeah, that's why. But maybe you think it doesn't make any sense because in the future they could send me a different one or something. But yeah, I really like this one. That's why I bought it. Don't blame you. I bought the 9800 X3D on discount. Could not resist. Yeah, but you had a 7800 X3D. I mean, there's still an upgrade. And yeah, it was discounted, but yeah. I mean, the best thing about the AM5 platform is, you know, next year we get another CPU and you can upgrade again. If you want to be at the bleeding edge all the time. I don't think I will, you know, I don't need it. Yeah, I think I don't need to upgrade the PC in a very long time. But yeah, I think the good about CPUs is that they come out and the price is supposed to be about the same. Let's say the 10900 X3D comes, 10800 X3D comes out. It should be about $500, you know, and it should be available. It's not like GPUs. The GPUs come out, MSRP, it's on paper. You have to pay a lot more money for them. CPUs are not the same, so it's, you know, you can definitely be always at the bleeding edge, and the 5090 definitely needs the faster CPU you can put on it. So yeah, let's leave it there. I'm gonna practice my guitar. Maybe after I practice, maybe I'll do a live stream playing some games. The crazy part is I can feel the difference. Oh, you can definitely feel the difference. I mean, we can feel the difference if we really look for it. You upgrade anything on your PC, you feel the difference. I mean, I just upgraded to a better controller, and I feel a huge difference. So, I mean, anything can make a difference. Now you have a spare CPU. I mean, you should definitely build a second PC with that 7800 X3D and 3080 Ti. You have a 3080 Ti, 7800 X3D. That's an amazing PC, especially for 1440p high refresh rate. That's a great PC. Or even, you know, just 4K 240. You can use DLSS. You got 40 FPS more at all times in Lies of P. That is really, really, really good. Lies of P runs very fast. It's a very, very good running game. Yeah, Real Engine 4 was not that bad. Now we have the Real Engine 5 slop. So yeah, let's leave it there. I'm gonna go practice a little bit my guitar, and then I might go back and just, you know, do a live stream playing a little bit at night. I've been playing a lot between today and yesterday, you know, trying my new controller. It feels so much better, man. So yeah, The 9800X3D only produces 1 or 2 more frames per second than the 7800X3D at 4K. Yeah, but it depends on the game. And some games are, some games you can have Intel 14900K having better 1% lows than the 9800X3D, which is supposed to be the best CPU in the world. Some games react differently, so we never know. It's very hard to tell. But yeah, that's where we are right now. I really want to finish building this PC. I hope the motherboard can be fixed so I don't have to spend more money. But if I have to spend money, I don't want to spend money on a 2700 Ryzen 7 2700. It's too old of a CPU to spend money on that. So if I spend money, it's to get something that's gonna be better moving forward. So I might put this on ice if it doesn't work. But yeah, let's see what happens. I'll keep you posted. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you think there's a better option, or if there's a place that fixed this, or if any ideas, I appreciate that. I will consider to decide what am I going to do. So yeah, take care.